Assalamualaikum. In the last lecture, we learned that synchronous motors are not self-starting. Why? Because this stator magnetic field rotates with very high frequency, and due to inertia of the rotor, this rotor cannot quickly gain speed to catch up this stator magnetic field. Therefore, it fails to rotate. Rather, with each pass of this stator magnetic field, the direction of induced torque is reversed, and that causes high vibrations in the rotor, and that can damage the synchronous motor. So what are possible solutions to make the motors self-starting? We have talked about two solutions in the last lecture, and in today's lecture we shall talk about the third solution, that is the damper windings. This is the most popular solution, and due to its low cost, it is very frequently utilized in synchronous motors to make them self-start. So what are damper windings? These damper windings are straight bars which are placed in the rotor like this one. These are bars which are placed like this one, and furthermore these bars are sharded at both the ends, that is at the front end as well as at the back end. So these are sharded with the help of sharding rings. Initially, what they do is they disconnect the field circuit, and only these damper windings are effective, and these damper windings help the rotor to get speed, and once this rotor gets near synchronous speed, then this field circuit is again connected, and then rotor starts rotating with synchronous speed. So how do these windings help the rotor to start? Let's elaborate this point. So we have this rotor. We have this rotor of this synchronous motor. Since field windings are disconnected, there is no magnetic field due to field windings. So VR is not there. There is only one magnetic field, stator magnetic field, which is rotating. So let's see the situation at time instant omega t equal to 0 seconds. At this time instant, here is the stator magnetic field, ds, which is rotating in this direction, and this rotating magnetic field links with these conductors, and we know that when a conductor is placed in a magnetic field and there is relative motion between the magnetic field and conductor, voltage is induced in those conductors. What is relation for the induced voltage? We know that E induced is equal to V cross B dot L, where B is the flux density vector and V is the velocity of conductor relative to the magnetic field. Here these conductors are stationary and magnetic field is rotating. So what is the direction of linear velocity of this magnetic field? It is angular velocity is in this direction, so linear velocity of rotation of this flux density vector is this one, and flux density vector is in this direction. This is B, and this is velocity of the stator magnetic field. However, in this expression, V is velocity of the conductor relative to the magnetic field. So velocity of conductor relative to the magnetic field is opposite to the velocity of magnetic field relative to the conductors. So this is velocity of the conductors. So V cross B, this is V cross B, that is out of the surface of board. So voltage will be induced in these conductors, which will cause the currents to flow in this direction in these conductors out of the surface of board. What about these conductors? For these conductors, the polarity of the voltage is such that current will flow in this direction. So now current is flowing in these damper windings, and current carrying conductors have their magnetic field. What will be the flux density vector due to current in these damper windings? Current is entering from here in the windings, and then through the shorting ring at the back end, it enters into conductors and leaves from here. So this is the direction of current in these damper windings. Into the board at the back end there is shorting ring, and through the shorting ring current enters into these bars, and then here it leaves. So there is a magnetic field due to damper windings, and the direction of that flux density vector is towards right. And now there are two magnetic fields, and we know that due to interaction of these two magnetic fields, a torque will be induced. We have derived this relation K dr cross bs. In this case, instead of br we have bw. So in this case, bw cross bs. That is due to interaction of these two magnetic fields, a torque will be induced, and the induced torque is in counterclockwise direction. So this corresponds to time instant omega t equal to 0 seconds. Next, analyze another time instant, that is this situation. So at omega t equal to 90 degrees, the stator magnetic field will have rotated by 90 degrees. This is Bs, corresponding to omega t equal to 90 degrees, and that corresponds to time. If for example we have supplied the voltage signal with a frequency of 60 Hz, then corresponding to this thing we have time equal to 1/240 seconds, because this Bs completes 60 revolutions in 1 second. That is, for one revolution it takes 1/60 seconds. One revolution, 1/60 seconds, and here it has rotated by quarter revolution, so 1/4 revolution, that means 1/240 seconds. So at this time instant, Bs is over here, and how much voltage will be induced in these conductors? Corresponding to this time instant, no voltage will be induced in these conductors. Why? Because no flux is passing through these conductors. So at this time instant, induced torque is equal to 0. Since no current in these conductors, mean Bw, the magnetic field due to current in these windings, that is 0, and hence induced torque is also equal to 0. Next, analyze the situation corresponding to omega t equal to 180 degrees. Although at this time instant induced torque was non-zero, it was in counterclockwise direction. However, rotor is still at this same position because of its inertia. It cannot quickly move. So in this brief time, it would have hardly moved to any significant angular displacement. So we have still taken the same angular displacement of this rotor. And now this Bs, that has rotated by another 90 degrees, and that corresponds to omega t equal to 180 degrees, and that corresponds to time of 1/120 seconds. So here is Bs, and now we have this situation. Bs is directed downwards, and here is its linear velocity is towards right. Linear velocity of the stator magnetic field is towards right. And what is linear velocity of conductors relative to this magnetic field? That is opposite to Vs. So here is the relative velocity of conductor relative to the flux density vector. Voltage will be induced in these conductors. What will be polarity? So for this conductor, it is V cross B. V cross B is out of the surface upward. That is, for these conductors, it is in this direction, and for this conductor it is in opposite direction. This rotating magnetic field links with these conductors and induces voltage in these conductors. And since these conductors are shorted at both the ends, so due to induced voltage, current will start flowing in these conductors, and due to the current in these conductors, a magnetic field will be produced. What will be direction of that magnetic field? So again, we can apply the right hand rule, current entering over here from and leaving through these conductors through the shorting rings. So the flux density vector due to current in these conductors, that is towards right, BW. So again, there are two magnetic fields, BW and BS, and what will be the induced torque? Induced torque is BW cross BS, that is non-zero, and again in counterclockwise direction. Furthermore, you can analyze the situation corresponding to omega t equal to 270 degrees. That situation is over here. So stator magnetic field is at this location at omega t equal to 270 degrees, and therefore no voltage will be induced in these conductors. No voltage induced in these conductors means there will be no magnetic field due to these conductors. There is only one magnetic field, and hence induced torque will be equal to 0. So what we observe, and this cycle will keep rotating, that is again it will be counterclockwise direction, 0, again counterclockwise direction, and non-zero. So what we observe is that although the magnitude of the induced torque is fluctuating, it is changing, however its direction is always the same. It is always in counterclockwise direction. So this is opposite to the situation when we had field windings. In the case of field windings, the direction of induced torque that was changed during each pass of the flux density vector Bs. However, with the damper windings, it is always in the same direction, and that will cause the rotor to rotate in counterclockwise direction, and the rotor will gain its speed. So with only damper windings, if we only have damper windings on the rotor, this rotor can achieve near synchronous speed. However, it can never rotate with synchronous speed. Why it cannot rotate with synchronous speed? For example, if this starts rotating with synchronous speed, then this conductor, what will be relative velocity between Bs and the conductor? Bs is also rotating, this conductor is also rotating. There will be no relative motion between this Bs and these conductors. No relative motion means no voltage will be induced. No voltage induced means no current, and hence no dW, and induced torque will be 0, and that will cause the rotor to slow down. So with the damper windings, rotor can get speed to near a synchronous speed. However, it can never achieve the synchronous speed. So once this rotor gains near synchronous speed, we can again connect the field windings, and then this motor will start rotating with synchronous speed due to the phenomena which we studied for the case of synchronous motors. So damper windings not only help the synchronous motor to make it self-start, but these windings also increase the stability of the motor. What do we mean by the stability of the motor? For example, this synchronous motor is rotating with synchronous speed, and you add an excessive load to the rotor. What will happen? The rotor will slow down, and due to slowdown of the rotor, which means that Bs, speed of rotation of Bs, will be larger than speed of the rotation of rotor, and therefore there will be relative motion between Bs and these conductors, Bs and these conductors, and again that will induce a voltage and will cause the current to flow. Will have the magnetic field due to these damper windings, so that will again help the rotor to accelerate to synchronous speed. And for example, if you have some external applied torque which causes the rotor to move at speed higher than the synchronous speed, in that case again damper windings will come into play, and these damper windings will apply torque in opposite direction to cause the rotor to slow down to make it move again at the synchronous speed. So that is how these damper windings help the synchronous motor to start. We shall study in the next lecture the three-phase induction motors, and we shall learn that in three-phase induction motors everything is the same except that we do not have the field circuit on the rotor. We have only these windings, damper windings on the rotor, and the stator is of the same shape as that of synchronous motor.